The rules have changed when it comes to hitting number one on Amazon. In this video, you're going to see the two biggest things that are changing for you to be able to rank bestseller status. My name is Jenny Hansen-Lane. I've been publishing for 3 years. I've published 611 different types of books. I recently had a student that I was helping them launch on Amazon, and Amazon changed. Like the algorithm just shuddered and moved while we were trying to hit number one. And here's all the clues and things that I learned while going back to Amazon. When they make updates, they don't always email everybody about the terms and conditions. And so following people like myself that actually publish can help you stay up to date. So we're going to talk about the updates for bestseller status in 2025. I took a little notes so we wouldn't get sidetracked, right? No side quests today. Let's go into actually number one to talk about what this means for your book launch. So Amazon took away actually updating the BSR, the best-selling rank, hourly. For many years, you used to be able to refresh your screen hourly and see if you ranked higher or lower on the top 10 of Amazon. And this was really fun because you could know for sure that you hit number one or top new release by your book sales. But that has gone away. Amazon has done this strategically because for so many different reasons. But the biggest reason you're going to find out in this video, okay? So this is the big update, is that there's no more hourly updates. If you're new to this channel and publishing and you're like, I didn't know that anyways, then like bonus points for you. Like you get a star. You're not affected. Is that a star? Okay. Let's go to the tip. Okay. So this is how we want to overcome. As Amazon changes things, we have to adapt, right? And we have to be able to update our mind, our reframe. Like that is entrepreneurship. That is making money online, is just knowing that you guys say it for me. If you don't quit, you can't lose, right? So the tip here is that we want to trickle out promotions. We want to be able to sell our book instead of just 1 hour window. We want to be able to do it for a couple days. Okay. So inside of here, let me tell you a story. So one of my students tried to rank, and I looked up how many books they needed to sell in 1 hour. This was in the end of April, kind of May. And I gave this student that number, and they actually have an email list. And so they went and promoted it for an hour and a day. Okay. And they even asked their people, after you buy it on Amazon, let me know. And so they got enough information that they were like, we just sold 150 books. And 1 hour later, no update happened. And Amazon had not updated their website at this point, okay? Their help desk. So I was like, something's going on. I started researching more, getting there. A day went by, and my student was like, I thought we did it. And I was like, I thought we did it too. So like, I'm even in the weeds with my students to like promote, okay? So that was when we learned that like, oh, we're going to have to trickle out the promotion. Like no more 1 hour, okay? That is gone, okay? So the second thing that happened when Amazon started doing more artificial intelligence with their website, like it's actually really ironic that you can have Amazon upload a cover for you. There's the cover creator. That is AI, but it's like from the 2000s. And I'm like actually kind of shocked that they're not using AI course creation, cover creation software that's better right there. I've only known one person that's used the Amazon book cover creator that has made money from it. I've thought about testing stuff, but I'm like, I can't even be proud of what is spit out by that. I almost said demon. What is spit out by that software? It's not aesthetic. And I am blown away that we can use AI with Amazon's help for A+ content, but the book creation, like the cover, it's not there. So I did digress, even though I took notes. But the second part of this is there's a lot of things that have changed with AI. And now Amazon, they don't always tell you about categories. You might see a category on Amazon, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can publish in it, and vice versa. You might publish in something and then Amazon puts it in something else. So if you ever feel like you're miscategorized, don't be afraid to ask Amazon. The reason why I'm bringing up categories is because that is how that's the only way that we can rank our books in the top 10 of a particular category. And so doing your research and making sure that it's relevant, you get to pick 3 when you launch your book. And so make sure that they're relevant there. So there is a little bit of AI that Amazon is working out. I mean, they're not necessarily going to tell us that, but we can see the difference if we're actively publishing. Okay. So that is the second part, is that you might run into categories that you can't publish in, and it's not your fault. I just want to say, like, it's not your fault. Okay. So the tip for the categories is focusing on relevancy of those books. The new strategy to hit number 1 on Amazon for bestseller, there's 2 parts here. The first part is to do a 5-day book launch. What this looks like is that you're giving incentives for each day. So I want you to think about, like, what is the bonus for day 1, right? And maybe on day 1, you're asking people to buy 5 quantity so they can give one to their friend, right? This works really well if you have an email list or you have an audience that people love you, they'll want to support you, they will buy 5 quantity, okay? So Amazon doesn't necessarily give Amazon buyer 5 chances to leave reviews. And so you have to decide on how you want to do this book launch, okay? But I have seen success where you give a bonus for something. Some of you might be thinking, like, what type of bonus can I give? You can give a PDF format of something. You can do something that maybe you were going to include in the book and then you didn't, but something that supports it, that makes it exciting, and they can only get it when they buy your book on Amazon that day, okay? The other part of a book launch here is like having limited pricing. And so you set the price of your book. And the caveat here is that Amazon's terms and conditions or their guidelines say that it can take up anywhere from 48 hours to 24 hours to 48 hours to update pricing. So this is something you want to do before you launch your book. So if you're trying to hit number 1, that pricing can be part of your strategy of, like, this is only $7.99 for 3 days, okay? But make sure that it's set there before you run traffic to it, okay? The whole goal with Amazon's changing structure of best-selling rank is one thing, okay? The Amazon, they want to keep more people shopping longer. They don't want people to come just one day and say, oh, I bought a book, goodbye. That's why they're making us work in this way, to get multiple sales every single day. And that's why spreading this out over 5 days is great. So honestly, let's cover that. Okay, so book launch strategies that I want you to focus on is when you do sell a book, get those verified buyers to leave reviews, right? That is going to be one of the most important things here. The second part of a book launch strategy is that if you know the number that you have to sell to hit number 1, you want to sell that quantity daily. So then when the algorithm does update, you actually have the sales to justify the movement to top space, right? Whether it's top new release or number 1 bestseller. And so there are powerful ways to do this. And that's why I always encourage, like, what is the bonus for day? Like, if you think about each day, right? So we've got dad. Okay, so we've got day 1. Like, what is that thing that you're offering? What is that thing that you're offering each day? Okay, so I would encourage you to have 1 to 5 days of book promotion to be able to maximize this if hitting number 1 is important to you. Now, here's a really important thing that for some reason nobody really talks about, and I'm really confused by it. So I'm just going to say it. And it's this, like, the published date, it doesn't matter for bestseller. So, like, last June, I hit number 1 for an entire week, and the book had already been published for 14 days. Because I wanted to make sure that, like, my map to bestseller was, like, built out. I wanted to make sure that I had the bonuses. I wanted to make sure that everything was set up for that. So if you've published a book and you don't have any sales on it right now, that doesn't mean you couldn't hit number 1 bestseller, okay? It's all in the book launch. Okay. The second part about this, and the other reason that I encourage people not to worry about this as much is because, um, like, you could set a date. Let's say I set a date for September 18th and I drive all the traffic to the 18th, but I don't have Amazon drop the book until the 18th, and then something happens with Amazon. And I have all my email marketing set up. Okay. That's why it's almost like you don't announce the baby at the hospital until the baby is healthy, right? Like you give yourself a couple minutes or hours or days. It's the same thing with a book launch, okay? The other part that people really neglect when it comes to ranking, which means if you don't have to hit it on that publish date, you can actually leverage ads to be able to help you hit bestseller or top new release at different times, okay? My best-selling book, it's made the time of this video, it's made $47K. The book is about 15 months old. And it hits number one in its category like every 90 days. And I don't share that on social media because my audience for the book is not there. And I keep a lot of my most profitable niches private. But I believe that it's only happening on this like cycle. Like I'm not doing anything except optimizing my ads. So there might be some books people are launching in this category that outrank mine. There's even like, well, I almost gave the niche away. That was funny. There's some books that I beat out that I'm like, how did that happen? But I'm so grateful. But I know how it happened because it's ads. Okay, so I want you to think about this. Like, don't be discouraged about the changes that Amazon brings about because they're doing what they need to do for the customer base, but that's an opportunity for us to grow. And every time something changes and you pivot, like you get those muscles of that turn and sway, like those obliques you're getting built. So don't get discouraged when Amazon's like, the price is going up. Like all these things you can overcome if you have the right mindset. And that's what I want this channel to be. I want you to know that I believe that you can do it. Like I did it and I pivot and you can do it too. So I am cheering for you and I have a free training coming up and I want you to grab a seat. They're always really fun. We're going to talk about like the 3 biggest things that I did in my business that helped me hit 6 figures. Okay. And this is just for the book income, 6 figures, and the ways you can utilize that. So I'll drop a link below. And as always, drop in the comments how I can serve you, what questions you have about self-publishing. The deeper we go, the better we get, the more understanding we have. If you don't quit, you can't lose. I love you. See you in the next video.